Okay, guys, welcome to what's normally our Sunday night call, and I'm sorry, it will go back to Sunday this week. Whenever we have an event, it's hard, and Lisa and I traveled, didn't get home till 5 o'clock in the morning on Monday. And last night I had Bible study, and I would not have made it home by 8:30 or 9 o'clock to have the call. So we are doing it on Wednesday night, and I'm excited to do it tonight because I've got some things that I'm going to share with you. Lisa's got some things she's going to share. And then I've got some other people that I really want. Chris, if you can do me a favor and text Q and Ben because they need to be on here today. There was a great group of people, and I want to share my experience, why I said that this for me was the best one I had, because as those of you know that as elites, hey Lori, we get to sit up in the front, right? And for the first time since we've been doing that, Lisa and I did not sit up in the front at all. Okay. She recorded Brett Brimhall walk up there by herself on the side, but let's just be transparent. We did not. We sat back with our team, and we actually sat in the risers, which I've never done. Mike can tell you because he was sitting up there too. And it was different. It was just, I paid attention more, to be honest with you. I took a lot of stuff away. I'll tell you why I think this was the best event that we've had so far as far as I've been at LifeVantage. And look, I know there's a lot of people that have not attended an event. And I learned this weekend that when I came back home after this event, I understood what massive action was. I understood about people being able to reach out to you. Lisa and I have, hey Andrea, hey Julia, you guys, if you can stop your videos, it would be great. Thanks. Okay, they went off. They usually go off on their own. But so here's what was really cool. So Lisa and I came back from this event just we're at in Kansas City, and people were contacting us, okay, and saying, hey, I really want to know what you guys are doing. And I'm going to tell you one of the big – I took tons of pictures, and I'm going to go over some stuff today, go over more stuff on Sunday. Lisa's going to show you – hey, guys, if you just came on, please mute yourself. Pretty please if you didn't. It's in the upper right corner of your screen or in the bottom corner of your screen. I don't want to mute everybody, but if I have to, I will. I think I'm going to have to. Let me just do it. And then if you want to unmute, you can. So one of the cool things about this event was Darren gave a lot of factual information that if you become a student of this industry, if you become a student of this industry and understand that, number one, there's never been a product line like ours inside this industry. And I don't know if you guys, some of you have iPhones, some of you don't. I use the iPhone stock app, which is called the Wall Street. It's from Wall Street. And I copied this, and I was going to put it in my slide presentation, but I just didn't have time. But I'm gonna show you guys, because I know you all can see this. So this is the last year of the market, and personal growth products is, you guys can see, is 13%. There's market share is 22.5. You can see a couple other things. You won't be able to see them because of the reflection, but guys, we're at 128.3%, okay? Past earnings growth, okay? Massively bigger than any other personal product company on the planet, right? And the projection of our stock is to go to $51, okay? We think it's going to go higher than that. And I want to tell you something. I had the utmost, hey, Paula, I had the utmost pleasure of meeting our, they don't call him the chief science officer anymore. I'll call him that because he's called the head of research and development, vice president of research and development. and his name is Dr. Brian Dixon. And guys, I was messaging a couple months ago back and forth with Darren, and he said, Mike, in your field and being a coach and a nutritionist, I mean, give me some ideas and some thoughts of somebody like you would hire. And I'm like, let me look at and let me see what I think. And I actually I told Lisa I listed about 5 names, and Dr. Dixon was one of them, just because he was a guy that I found that had been in the direct sales industry at another company that was publicly traded, whose stock went to $150, guys. A company called USANA. It's the only other science-based company. It doesn't compare to ours. It's been around. I think it's a $600 million. And Brian has been there for 11 and a half years. Okay. And he told me in a conversation, Lisa was hanging out with some of her friends. And I said, do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? And he said, absolutely. And I said, why leave USANA at this time in your life? Publicly traded company. The stock is still at like $60 or $70. He's done all their research, and he's been their science officer, like I said, for 11 and a half years. He said, you know what, Mike? 2 of my best friends asked me the same question, like, why LifeVantage? And he said, because LifeVantage had something that we didn't have, and the potential to scale up from there with new products that will add to what's already there to make the existing products work even better. So guys, you have the opportunity of a lifetime over the next 2 to 3 years, only if you take advantage of it. I can tell you this. I told Lisa when she was half asleep, and then when we got back home, I'm running with or without her. And I told Julia, Lisa's best friend, was there, and I told her the same thing. Like, I spent the last 2 days making appointments, talking to people. I told her I want to enroll 5 people by the end of the month in the business. I enrolled a customer last night who's a doctor who wants to look at the opportunity in a couple days. So the opportunity is there, guys. Lisa and I's topic at the next Building Depth event is social media and relationships, right? Because that's what you have to do to be successful with this business. You have to be intentional about it. You guys cannot do this business your own way. And I'm going to show you guys a quick slide here that I think just literally blew me away when I saw it. And I hope that you guys can see it okay on the screen here. This, I don't know why it's not at the top, but I'm going to take it to the top. Okay, so
we're taking this company to the top.
Yeah, we are. And so I wanted you guys to see this. This is the revenue. 80% of the revenue now of the company has come from people who are on subscription. Guys, the average is 21%. Advocare, who just went out of business, was 6%. That means that 94% of their revenue came from distributors, okay? Guys, if this doesn't get you excited, nothing will, okay? If this doesn't get you to take action, nothing will. Mike Weingarten and I had a conversation before the event even started about, he worked on his health. He worked on his personal self. And now he's like, Mike, I have to take advantage of all of the teachings that we've been doing and stuff that I've been learning and take massive action. Guys, let me explain something to you. Look at this. In 2018, LifeVantage had 15,970 distributors enrolled, and 7,612 of those enrolled somebody. That's close to 48.5%, guys. Do you know what the average of the industry is? 17%. 17%. We're 3.5, almost 4 times what the industry average is. Okay, so I think Lisa wrote that down in some places, and it's really funny when Darren met another chief, a CEO of another company who, yeah, And he met another guy who works with major companies, legacy companies. And he said, wow, I just got done working with this one company and they were 23%. It's the highest I've ever seen. And Darren said, no. He said, well, Darren, what do you do? And when Darren told him, he said the look on the guy's face was something he'd never, that you couldn't explain. And so, guys, everything's here for you. You have to start using third party. You have to start using consistency. You know, it was great also because a lot of the building depth people were the presenters in the classes. You know, Jennings and Jason Kokinzi and James Hayden and Robin Summer Smolik and Melissa Brown. I mean, guys, we are creating and getting back to what got us here and now scaling up from there. And this slide just literally absolutely blew me away. So, but one thing I think that all of you deserve, okay? If you guys, one of the things that you guys need to understand is that we are also going to launch a new product in Long Beach. The next two things that you do not want to miss, okay, that you do not want to miss are the Long Beach Elite Academy and the Cancun trip, okay? Tonight, I'm going to go through something that just punched me right in the nose, is how easy it is as whether whatever you were paid as last month in June, if you were paid as a Pro 2 or you paid as a Pro 3 and your rank's different, it goes on what you were paid last month of June, okay? So when you're thinking about how to get through and qualify for this event of Cancun, you have to register for the event first, okay? And look, please register before the end of the month, guys. This trip is doable for every single person on this, okay? This trip is due for everything. Okay. So Mike, I did get a little bit ahead of myself. So Mike asked me about the new product that's going to be launched. I can't go into too much detail about it, guys, but I'll just tell you this. The Field Advisory Board has it, the Pro 10s have it, and the Scientific Advisory Board have it. I'll just tell you this. It's going to be an add-on.
It's a tier 1 product.
Which is what both Pro Tandems are, okay? And it will enhance the vitality stack, okay? I'll just tell you this. You feel it within the first 24 hours, okay? And it will enhance the other things. I also wanted to tell you something that I remember from back in the very beginning, but Dr. Bremhall talked about it. Lisa didn't know about it. I knew about it, but I completely forgot about it when I talked to her about it. I told her that I was sure that you had to take it every single day to get the benefits. And Dr. Bremhall talked about it being cumulative, right? So Axio, right? So you have to take Axio every single day if you want the cumulative effect of the, going through the blood-brain barrier and actually working better the longer and the more you take it. So, guys.
Just think about it. It's the same thing with our NRF1 and our NRF2.
Yep.
The longer you continue to stay on it, the better and better the results become.
Yeah, and I'm going to post some videos in our Freedom Fighters page. If you're not on there, you need to go to LVN Freedom Fighters and add yourself. I'll add you in. Guys, the science stuff was by far the best it's ever been. Dr. Neil Goodman did a walkout with people standing of the probiotics and a couple of the other products that was just outstanding. Pediatric doctor, it was phenomenal, guys. The science panel was awesome. Dr. Dixon, our new chief science officer, did that. So I'm going to go over just a couple brief things because I want you guys to kind of understand the magnitude of being able to qualify for this trip. And guys, take your vacation to Cancun. This is a trip for five days, right? Right? It's 5 days.
Back one slide. Yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yep.
5 days, okay? And guys, you can pick and choose what you want to do. There's going to be breakout sessions. And if you don't want to go, you don't have to go. If you want to go, you go. If you see some stuff that you don't like, and you want to go to something that you like, and it's and you want to go play golf, or you want to swim or be with your family, you can do it. And guys, and it's all exclusive. But let me explain something. Or inclusive.
So food and drinks are included.
Everything's included, guys. So let me explain something to you. LifeVantage needs to sell this out by the end of the month, okay? To be able to have only our people at the resort, okay?
Right.
So they're going to have to release some of the rooms if all of you do not register. Guys, the fear has to stop. Look, you guys know our situation and what happened to us in my coaching business, which killed us. Register for Cancun, guys. Do it. Register, okay? It'll make you go to work. It's making me go to work. I told her this. I'm doing this, right? So register for the event. You can earn your money back, and you can come and have fun. They made it sound super easy, and I like it because, you know, it's super simple. And I was going to go through a little bit of this, but I'm going to go through some of the examples that I think that will show you guys, some of you that are on here that are Pro 1s or Pro 2s or Pro 3s, what you're able to do. And really it's, you know, you earn points through selling products and signing people up, rank advancing, people that you sponsor rank advancing, you maintaining your rank, and becoming an influencer. Enrolling somebody every month and enrolling customers every month. This is all on your website, guys. And I wanted to show you guys, Lisa's going to go over the 5 E's of leadership. I think you guys will really like. I'm going to share with you guys one more thing with this EA destination thing that I think will be crucial for you guys. Can everybody see this okay? Can somebody unmute, let me know?
Yes, we can see it.
Yeah,
okay, thank you, Mike. Thanks, Wendy. So from July 1st through December 31st, you got 6 months, guys, to do this. It blows my mind that it's this long, 6 months, right? If 5 team members achieve any tier above, you'll be able to bring 2 children for free. Includes hotel, meals, and activities. Top 10 point earners will earn an upgrade to a presidential suite. Okay? You guys can see the tiers. Okay? So let me go down to an explanation here that's really simple. And I'm going to do one for a couple different ranks. You can see it here. Here's the rank. This is all on your website, guys. I took this right off of our own websites. And you know the influencer program. Also, the influencer program is right on there. And you can see you max out 600 points for enrollments, but you can use the rest of the enrollments for the influencer program. So just think about that. You know, I figured today from what Lisa and I are capable of doing, we can get close to 8,000 points if we just do what we have been talking about. Okay? And you guys seen. What does 8,000 points get me? 8,000 points gets me $2,000 and basically pays for my trip. Okay, so that's something that you're gonna have to think about. So,
and I did go through this on, what was it, July 7th leadership
7th.
call.
Yeah.
I gotta think if it was one that actually got recorded or not.
I don't know if it was.
Now that I think about it.
But guys, here's what you're gonna do. I'm doing this tomorrow. I'm printing this off today and doing it tomorrow. You're gonna want to fill out this goal sheet and have it visual so that you can do it. Okay. So
and
go ahead.
For the end of this month too, there's an extra incentive that if you get in 5,000 of new volume,
personal volume,
you get an additional $250 right off the bat.
And you can take
1 kid.
So I'll use Chris for example. Okay, if Chris signed up 5 people or 5,000 or any way of 5,000 in volume, he could take his daughter for free and get an extra $250. There's still ways of doing that, but like I said, you guys can see this is a Pro 4 tier of how you can do it. You identify a month when you can realistically rank advance, right? Place the points of advancing to your next rank in that month. Example shows here, August, they decided to rank advance in August, they get the 500 points, right? That's achieving Pro 5. So if you rank, guys, just because you have a rank, it's what you were paid as last month. So for us, paid as Pro 6, right? So we can get back to Pro 7 and then get the same thing if we maintain it the next month, which we plan on doing between now and the end of the year. Okay? And I'll just let you guys know that we're putting on a live event that's taking every ounce of us. We're working 10 to 12 hours a day. So if we can do this, you guys can do this. We believe in you, or we wouldn't be taking the time to go through this and encourage you guys that you can do it, right? You can place points for your next rank in the months after you anticipated the advancement. Remember, the example shown here is for a current paid Pro 4, right? Now, as you're going through this, right? You can see the 6,000 points, okay? Just look at this. Distributors and customers, right? 600 maxed out, 7,100 points. Guys, this is all in your back office. Look at this next example. This next example, okay, is a Pro 1. Okay, let me go back. Let me show you this one. Because a lot of you guys are, this person was brand new. Example we show you, you would get if you're currently a Pro 1, right? So a Pro 1 would get to tier 4, which would be 1,000 points. They max out the product sales, 600, right? They do Pro 2, Pro 3, Pro 4, okay? Which people are doing very quickly right now, 1,200.
Heck, you can hit Pro 5 by the end of the year.
Yeah, we did it in 6 months, so you can do it. Pro 1, 2, and 3, and 4, you can see that. Here's the 4,000 points. They maintain it for October, November, and December. They get those amount of points for each of those months, okay?
This is actually, I think, the first incentive trip
where they've carried them over the points over and over.
Well, no, not only that, but your maintenance points are higher than the achievement points.
Yeah, so basically you put down what is your goal, right? And then you use this little sheet to go through it. And guys, think about it. Like I said this, and I didn't even really truly understand this until I kind of went through it myself, okay? Because I think once you guys understand and you go through this yourself, like even I was looking at it like this, from a Pro 7, a Pro 6 position of rank advancing, it makes it simpler because if you look at this, okay, I can get back to 7, get 1,000 points, then 3,000 points each month I do it. So let's say I get back there in October, okay? November and December, I get 3,000 more. That's 6,000, 7,000. I max out the 7,600, right? I max out the 7,600, and then with the other enrollments, I get to 8,000 points, which is $2,000 and pays for both of our trip, all right? So guys, how many of you guys know that you're capable of doing this? You are capable of doing this, okay? So I just want you guys to know that that is very doable, okay? It's very, very, very doable. So I'm going to come back and share. I'm going to have a couple people share some things. I'm going to let, do you want to do that first? You want to have people share first? Okay, I'm going to let you do that. I'll be right back.
Yep. There's one other thing I wanted to mention too. If you don't know, in January-ish, free shipping is going to be for all products, and that's huge. That is huge. Our current free shipping right now is on the entire True Science skincare, True Science hair care, the activated essentials, which is Nerf 1, Nerf 2, and ProBio, and the Vitality Stack, which is those 3, plus the Omega Plus. So any products that are ordered on top of any of, those systems includes the free shipping. You would have to order one of those 4, choices right now. So that is so huge, 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 huge. And Long Beach EA registration, early bird registration for $99 was actually extended through 7/27. Technically, it was supposed to end yesterday. So if you didn't get a chance to register for Long Beach as well for October, which is where they're going to, I think that's what they said, Tracy, right now, of course, the shipping for US.
Yeah. And you know what was really cool about that also, guys? US only, not Canada, correct? So what was really cool is that Darren talked in the leadership meeting about us eventually having free shipping on all of our products.
Well, they said it from stage too.
Yeah, from stage. And so before I bring a couple people on, you're just gonna share a couple points.
I'm gonna go through the 5 E's of leadership.
Are you gonna do that first and then bring people on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But you're gonna do it the other way.
No, that's all right.
Okay. So let me share one thing. I wanted to share something that I learned in a breakout session from Rob Smolik. Okay. Rob and Summer made Pro 7 in very quickly. Okay. Went from building depth from Pro 5 6 months ago to Pro 7. Okay. 6 months from Pro 5, Pro 7, going to building depth. Okay. And I love what Rob said. He said every time they sign somebody up, or they do a presentation, okay, and the person starts going down through, Rob says, if somebody says, well, I don't have the money, he says to them, do you know 5 people that are interested? Let's talk to them right now. That would be interested. So then Rob writes the 5 people down, and then he calls and does a presentation to all 5 of those people. Now, here's what's funny, which he said was awesome. He said now they have about 70% of the time in those 5 people, they find one person that wants to do it. So here's what he does. Then he goes back up to the person that gave him the 5 names and said, look, you have 2 options. One, I enroll him and you don't get credit for him. Or 2, you find the money. And he said, every single time the person finds the money. So do you see how he took away the option of them saying they don't have the money? Because then he says, do you know 5 people? And then he goes and presents to them every single time. And Summer does the same thing. That's how they massively rank advanced. Guys, and then I'll turn it over to Lisa. I want to show you guys this, okay? So the coolest thing was this was Rob and Summer's photo at Building Depth on Saturday night. And I thought it was fitting to share with you guys. They all wore the same shirts, which I thought was really
their team, yeah.
Yeah, which was really cool. And guys, this was their team at this last elite. Okay, do the numbers. Okay, you can see for every person they have on their team, it's about $1,000. Okay, you can see they had a massive group there. Okay, so if you've not attended an event yet, or if you've attended one, please register yourself and do these next 2 trips. Okay, your business will never be the same. I'm not the same, and I've never missed an event for 8 years. So, was there a question down here? Oh, okay. All right, let me pull Lisa's thing up here.
All right, so this was Tara Wilson's presentation from stage on the 5 E's of leadership. And she kind of goes through what is leadership. Is influence, according to John C. Maxwell. The highest form of influence is moral authority, was his quote. Leadership is when you make the decision to be responsible for the results of your team, taking ownership.
Wow.
And I just want to kind of add on to it. One of the things is, yeah, that's her quote. It's like when you're successful, you give credit to the team. You give credit to everybody else that made you look good, so to speak. But if you're not successful, you take responsibility of that as well. Don't blame the team. You know, your team's going to do what you do. So the first E was environment, a place where others are ahead of me. At the Building Depth event, I actually said from stage that a good leader knows when to follow and when to lead. You know, we have to have examples to follow. And that's exactly what she said. Your environment, you surround yourself with people who are actually ahead of where you are, or, you know, to have what you want to have.
What was it that one time when you and I were taking John Maxwell's course? He said, if you're in a room
where you feel like you know the most, get out and go find another room where you can continually learn. Exactly. And that's her next thing, a place where you're continually challenged, where the focus is forward thinking, not dwelling on the mistakes of the past, learning from them, an affirming atmosphere, always encouraging one another, but also a place where you can be stretched out of your own comfort zone. That for me is kind of a big deal, you know, being stretched out of your comfort zone, a place where you wake up excited, and where failure isn't your enemy. I've heard it said that, you know, failure isn't the opposite of success. How'd it go? Failure is not exactly the opposite of success. It should be like the motivation to success. It's like, was it Albert Einstein and the light bulb? You know, how many thousand of attempts did he do? Well, he didn't look at those as 1,000+ failures. He looked at those as 1,000 ways he knows that don't work, and he can move forward from it.
It's like the one you showed me the one time with Michael Jordan. He said,
I took so many shots. And I'll find that one.
Yeah. So the environment, others are growing, people desire change, and growth is modeled and expected. Equipping, the second E, equipping is passing of the baton. Job security, your goal is not perfection, but action. Never do business alone. We are a team. You know, we have business partners. We have mentors. Invest the most time with the people who are committed to the journey. They have to love the company, the mission, be willing to put in the work, make the calls, set the appointments, attend the events. Equipping, also no entitlement, no excuses. Prepare people for their journey, for the noise, the obstacles, and the fears. Always be honest with, you know, what they can expect in this journey. She didn't say, I think it was Mara Lee who said that this business and this industry is like a roller coaster ride. You've got your ups and your downs. She said, just tighten down that lap bar and throw your hands up and enjoy the ride.
Here's what Michael Jordan said. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost more than 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over again in my life. That's why I succeed.
Exactly. Thank you. For equipping, they must have the goals, professional, financial, personal. And the thing that Brian Tracy, and we've heard this over and over, but it actually hit me this time that I sat down and did it again. If your goals are not written, they're just wishes. Your goals need to be written, and they need to have like an action plan with them as well. Leading people is not carrying them, it's teaching them. Somebody else at one of our breakout sessions, Tanya something said, you know, she used to answer everybody's questions, and her team would then also answer everybody's questions, and they didn't exactly learn. She taught them where to find the answers. So when someone comes to you with a question,
you do that.
Yeah, it's like, this is how we can find this answer, so that they can then, you know, they can find it on their own. So it's, you know, being a good leader and teaching them so that they can be successful and independent, not dependent upon you. But she discovered that that's what her team started to do also. They started to teach how to find the answers. Equipping is when your words are greater, or what?
Sorry.
When your words are greater than your work, you lose credibility. When your work is greater than your words, you build credibility. And that basically means walking the walk, not just talking the talk. Stages of equipping. Stage 1, your position gives you that platform as the leader, as the personal who, is the sponsor, adds value to the essence of equipping others. Proximity is as much as a hierarchy. Influence those that are closest to you first. So go find 5 and help them get 5, or 3 and then help them get 3.
Yeah.
You help your 3 personals, each get 3 personals. And then you just continue to teach it going down the ranks.
And that's one of the things
levels.
One of the things that I really like that I was sharing with Lisa that Rob and Summer do is when they sign somebody up, and we admitted to each other that we haven't been doing a good job of that, is getting that person started right then and there. Rob says that he uses that 5 thing that he used here. He says, hey, let's text 5 people right now and say, look, I'm working on a new project. When can you talk, today or tomorrow? I'm working on a new project. I need to talk to you. When can we talk? Do you have time today or tomorrow? And he does that with every single person that enrolls. And he makes 4 out of the 5 texts become appointments. And he does that with every single person. Here was something really cool about building relationships and about the equipping. Erica Deal, who is one of the Team Heart people, the only other Pro 7 from Building Depth that was recognized at Elite, she said she had her whole team stand up, and she said if you knew, there was about 50 people in the room, and she said if you knew me before social media,
sit down.
Yeah, sit down. So, and there, she wanted the only people to be standing with people that she knew before she signed them up on social media, and only 4 people stand. So out of the 50 people, 46 of them she signed up on social media.
Yeah, she didn't know prior to building those relationships.
And she said the thing that she did was she was equipped by her upline to build constant relationships.
Mm-hmm. So share ideas, resources, tools. As you go up in rank, you teach others. Moral authority is key. Stage 2, respect gives you permission. People naturally follow leaders that are stronger than themselves. Respect is earned. Others observe you to be hardworking, honest, and consistent. They begin to appreciate your strength of character. Reputation obviously delivers results, develops daily as you work. Inconsistent results is loss of credibility. And I am super at fault for this one, especially with doing my Facebook Lives on my page. I am inconsistent, and I kind of got it again today. I'm not doing it on a daily basis. Those people that are followers, people that I don't know personally, they're going to fall away. So I really got to be consistent. The 3rd stage of equipping is the likability gives you persuasiveness or influence. As your people get to know and like you, their desire is to follow your direction of growth. If they don't like you, they're not going to be willing to learn. They're not going to put forth the time to listen to you. The equipping process can slow down or even stop then. Show genuine concern for your team's well-being. Add value whenever and wherever you can. Focus on their needs, their aspirations before seeking to advance your own interests. And get to know people outside of the business setting. I think that one was pretty huge too. Lead by example. The moral authority, I already said it. Influence. Your walk needs to talk louder than your talk. Right? Everything you want your leaders to do, you must be willing to do and be modeling it yourself consistently. They need to see you before they hear you. You've heard the expression, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Kind of an example is worth a gallon of advice. Add value every day. For our teams, I kind of started to do this, and our team as a whole has sort of leveled at the moment. But every time we get a new distributor, they talked about celebrating everything, whether it's big or small. Celebrate the person who hit Pro 3 in 30 days or 90 days. Celebrate the person who has been persistent, that after a year and a half, they got their first customer.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to make them
And they do it in a feed,
all
right?
feel welcome. Yes.
We're gonna start doing that. We're gonna start doing
And
that
be
on the
valuable.
pages. Yeah, we're gonna start doing that on the Freedom Fighters page.
Yeah, and I started to, but I kind of was not consistent. Sorry, guys.
And guys, you guys can do this too.
Sorry.
If you get people on your team that get a customer,
put it on there. Celebrate them.
Celebrate it on our Team Build It Up page and in our LV page. Freedom Fighters.
Yep. Be inspired. Be inspiring. Love what you do. Never stop growing. We talked about that with John Maxwell. Building trust with competence and consistency. And I'm admitting to you all, I've not been consistent. Always do the right thing. Own up to your mistakes like I am right now. Put others at the top of your agenda. When my win is more important than yours, I lose you. But when your win is more important than mine, together we'll both be more productive.
Mm-hmm.
The leader can never become cynical, can never complain downline, cannot lead with an edge or an attitude. Always give people the benefit of the doubt. Always act with integrity and good character. Learn and teach something every day. And I'm going to stop here. We'll finish the rest of these next week. So next week I got to go through the last 3. I only covered 2.
You covered 3. Equipping and example.
Oh, yeah. So I'll cover the next 2 next week.
All right. So she'll do a recap of the top of them. But so here's what I want to do. I haven't seen yogurt, guys. Some almond yogurt. You could have.
Mm-hmm.
You want to?
Another 5 minutes?
No, because we only have 15 left.
Right.
And I have people that want to share. Okay. So first, I'm going to do ladies first. So Lori, I'm going to Lori, can you unmute yourself? She said she had a hard time with this. Are you there?
Yep.
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can. Okay. So let me go to speaker view. There you are. So I'll ask you to start your video. And all right, guys, Lori Musgrave is a Pro 3 from Dade City, and Lori has just re-engaged in the business, and she and her sister Janice were in Kansas City, and so I asked Lori to share just a little bit. So Lori, the floor is yours. Share a couple of your takeaways.
Okay, so I've got the ones that I've taken are, they're pretty simple. They're ones that really stood out like crazy on me. And the one was having that clear vision, that super clear vision. And can you see, it's saying start my video. Do I need to hit a button? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that.
There you go.
Although I liked it better the other way, that's okay. Thanks guys for asking me though to speak. But the 2 things that I got, like I said, they're simple, and the crystal clear goal or the vision that you have. And then I don't know who it was who was talking about that, but they were saying, even when you're posting, so when you're posting, those pictures that we're posting have to be very clear. And when you're posting, a lot of times I'll do like one day, one thing, the next day, another thing, because I'm posting maybe 3 times a day. And I'm posting on Facebook, and I'm posting on Instagram. So they suggested keep the colors the same, have an order, have a specific thing that you're going to be talking about. So I think what I'm going to do is go longer. Now, when I was on the plane, I was thinking about these things. And so what I'm doing, I'm all over the place. And so that really did help me. And with that, I had taken a personality test a while ago, and some of those things that came up strong on mine, of course, they come up weak if you don't do them, and need to work on them, but it's really going to help me in those areas. And the next thing that the next thing was that I can't remember, I think it was Rachel was talking about, no, it was Shannon who was talking about the power of systems. And the power of systems, to me, I kept thinking, what do you mean the power of systems? And it's so simple. It's what is your story? What is your why? How simple is that? But that is part of, what I need to be doing. And I can complicate things because of the way my mind works. I can just really work it up. They talked about even just things like they used the word take, tell, and attend. So take the products, and when you take those, then you can, you let them know you fell in love with this because of. And another thing is tell people about the product. What did it do for you, or whatever? And then attend the events. When we were here at the events, it brought me back. It was like home week. It was like welcome home, a huge sign saying, welcome home, Lori. You're here. This is where you belong. And this is where, in my heart, I knew it. And I knew in my heart that I would be back one day. So that felt good to have that. But anyhow, the systems, if you don't have that, it's so important, because how else then can we create that leverage? And how then can we duplicate what our leaders are telling us, who we're learning from? So we need to create that legacy in our own businesses, and our own businesses will look different because we have different personalities, different things that each one of us are going to pull out of strengths. And we have, each one of us here have so many different things that we can pull from each one to make the team even stronger. So I think it's real important too that that because of that, it's going to be important for our customers. It's going to be important for the distributors. And because, we're creating that customer experience. It's up to us. And the better that we have a system in place, the better that experience for them is going to be. And that's where they come with the 66% of distributors were customers first. Yep. So hold on to that, and there was so much though. There was so much, but the main thing is that, they always say the story is how you felt when you walked away. And how I felt when I walked away was I felt like I belong. So that's what I got.
Good job, Lori.
That's cool.
Lori, you just got me all excited over here. Like I
almost started to cry.
And guys, just tell you something. You know how good it is to have Lori back? Like Lori can tell you, I used to drive to Dade City once a month, and we would put on meetings, and we need to start doing that again. Like, I'm not afraid to say that we had momentum going. And so Lori, I'm so glad that you're back home. So welcome home.
Thank
you got your sister crying now. Guys, this is Lisa's book. There's only a couple pages left that she didn't fill out for notes during this thing. And then today I encouraged her, maybe pushed her a little bit to write, and she pushed me to write out our goals and to be intentional about it. Because if you're not intentional about it, like Lori can tell you, that everything was based on not just learning, but taking action. We can go to events and learn, and never do anything. And it's analysis paralysis, right? You're like, okay, what do I do first? You just do what Rob did and Summer did, and you take action. And you start calling people, and you start following up with people, and you start putting them on 3-way phone calls. I must have got text 10 times today to do 3-way phone calls. Guys, and none of you are doing that. So you got to start doing it, right? All right.
I want to share one of my goals that I wrote down.
All right. Okay? Fred, get ready. You're next.
I wrote down that our LifeVantage business has 3 new Pro 5s and 5 new Pro 3s by October.
Boom. Back to Pro 7.
That is my number one. Here's the word goals, and there's my number one goal. And so in order for us to get what we want, we have to help you. And instead of saying, because I'll just admit it, I have had a goal of we get back to Pro 7. But my focus is now different. It's like, yeah, okay, we get to Pro 7, but I want to help get 3 brand new Pro 5s, or people who have been Pro 5 but haven't been paid as Pro 5 in a year or more.
Yeah.
And 5 brand new Pro 3s. So that is what my number one goal is, and I'd like to have that achieved by October. And by the way,
because we need to by October, because November is our live event. So
I didn't even put it down for that reason, but yeah.
Just a little dig for some of you guys. If we ever support you guys and you're a male, or you're a wife and you have a husband, send them to our live event. It'll be worth every ounce of what you're gonna get from it. And here's one that's coming to my live event right there. And are you unmuted, Frederick?
I believe so.
All right.
Awesome.
This is my good friend and client, and he's my brother in Christ. He's just an amazing friend and accountability partner. We talk. We try to talk every week. If we don't, we'll talk twice the following week, which is kind of funny, but that's okay, right? That's how we do it. And so Fred, if Beth wants to share something, just tell her to come in the room and share with you if she wants. I know she's close by, but if you want to go ahead, just tell us a couple takeaways that you had, and have at it.
I will. Okay. I'm going to keep it fairly simple, but I think one of the biggest things that I took from the event that I came away with a much better understanding was that it has to really be about the person we're talking to. It cannot be about us. And I've been so guilty of that in the past. And when I look back, I can see why I couldn't grow my business, because it wasn't completely about them. We really, really need to dig deep and find out what their needs are, get to know them, and show them that we care. And when we do that, I can already see, this time around, since we've come back into the business, that's really one of the big keys to growing the business. Just make it about the person, find out what their needs are, and then try to help them solve the problem. People have all got, they've either got health issues or monetary issues or all kinds of different things going on in their lives. And, we just have to dig really deep. We have to stay, focused on finding out what those things are so that we can see if we can help them find a solution. We know we have solutions. We just have to do it in a way that they feel comfortable enough to allow us into their lives and to try to help them. And the other thing that really grabbed me was how much we need to focus on our skill sets. We can't grow ourselves if we don't work on the skill sets. The company's laid things out for us, and it's all there. We just have to go to work and work on ourselves and develop ourselves and move forward. I don't know. Beth didn't show.
Right. So that's all right. Hey.
I wanted to add to what you were just saying about how it's about them, find out their needs. I don't remember who it was, but they were talking about, I think it was with distributors. Some distributors truly only want to make $500 a month.
Yeah.
Distributors, they want to hit those elite ranks and, master ranks. And so find out what they need. Don't try to push a turtle into a rabbit.
Yeah.
Because you'll miss the rabbits. if you're focused on a turtle who truly only wants to make $300 to $500 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a tremendous number of people out there that $500 a month extra would totally change their lives.
Exactly. So, and to not make them feel bad if that's their goal.
Yeah.
Celebrate the fact they hit their goal.
I bet you, Destiny, you'd be okay with an extra $500 a month, wouldn't you?
Oh, heck yeah.
So that's why, and it's funny because you and I sat in the back. Destiny and I sat in the back of Building Depth, and she was taking notes like crazy at the event. And I think, and Destiny, you're free to share anything.
Yeah, my book's cool.
that you want, because sometimes we become very vulnerable at these events. Like, things happen and they don't happen exactly the way we thought they were going to happen, or we do things, or we go to events with an expectation, and we don't know what to expect, and so I think a lot of times when we go to these events, if we just go there with an open heart, I always say it's just like when I go to church on Sundays. I go with an expectation, knowing that I'm supposed to be there, number one. Number two, going there with an expectation to leaving there different than when I went there, right? No matter what it is. Because when I spend money on doing something and I know I'm supposed to do it, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? We're not going from with no experience in industry. We're not going from Pro 1 to Pro 7 next week, right? We're not going from making $10 to making $10,000 next week. It's a system. And Shauna Muckalo was the one that Lori was talking about, that talked about this system. I'll be honest with you guys. Some of the speakers at this last one, and Destiny will close us out, and then I'll ask if there's anybody else that wants to share. But I thought the speakers were the best they've ever been. It was dynamic. And from Jenny Crane to Christy Voigt to Jason Kokenzi's wife, I've never heard speak, just knocked it out of the ballpark, because she got involved before he did and went to Pro 7, and then he joined her, and then they got a Pro 8 and a Pro 7 position. So, Destiny, share some. I know you've got your piece of paper there in front of you, so have at it.
Yeah, well, I just have notes, but I mean, it really is. So basically, I'm just going to say I almost didn't make it. And I'm so glad I did, because the first thing that I heard and I wrote down when I got there was, what are you willing to leave behind in order to get what you deserve? And I was so guilty feeling leaving so many responsibilities that I thought that I had, and I felt selfish and for the things that I wanted. But hearing that first thing, it's not the things that I wanted, it's what I deserve. And my responsibilities, the ones that are actual responsibilities, they deserve me better. So, and that was like instant validation for me. So, the whole thing's been about personal development for me. And it's just, I just really appreciated all the elites and the science panel on Building Depth, everybody reaching down. These people they've done their growing, they've done their hard work, and they're reaching down to show us how to do it. And it was just really, really, it's validation for me. I have Fred to work with every single day. Fred and Beth, they reach down every single day to help pull me up. And, just to see there's like 6,000 other people like that in the world, at least, it's just really reassuring to me. So I wrote my commitment letter, not when I wanted to. I wanted to write it that night, but they told you to write a commitment letter to yourself. And I wanted to write mine that night, but I crashed, and I was so tired. But I did write it as soon as I got home, before I went to work Monday morning, before I did anything else to distract me from what I'd heard. So I wrote my commitment letter. And so I'll just read that, and I think that pretty much summarizes everything. So I commit to myself to become a true biohacker, to take back control of my whole life, to become a product of my product, to move forward with laser focus, only concentrating on a few things, but intensely, Say less to more people and seek people who are true influencers and will add value to the lives of others as well as my own. I will be more intentional. I will leave every person, place, and thing I encounter in a better condition than the way I found them. I will always remember Kansas City and my experience. It was there where I realized there are so many things and people in this world that can add value to my life and are willing to be there for me. There's no need to give thought or time to small things, petty people, made up responsibilities that I'm just limiting myself by having them that are wanting to hold me back. I became a woman of the world in Kansas City, from meeting new friends, exploring city streets, and Ubering around town, learning I am able to do so many things on my own. I had a support system nearby, but not one like I'm used to having that makes me feel dependent upon them. I deserve more. I am more. I will be more than I have chosen to be before in my life, because I can, because I am enough, because I matter. I remember I am not my past, but I am rooted deeply in who I am, with many experiences that just empower me. I am different but not inferior. I will be intentional, dependable, and responsible, because Superman's not coming. It's just me. I'm it. I commit to massive action, and I will never settle. So that's
wow. All right.
that pretty much summarizes my whole notebook.
I'm giving you a standing
Amen.
ovation because you just encouraged me like a lot.
Oh, great.
So thank you so much for sharing that. Like, wow. So congratulations. I know that one of the biggest things, Destiny, and I'm going to speak this to you before we go, and I'll see if there's one or two other people that might want to share something before we go. But our past is our past, and you're right. Superman is not coming. We are called to greatness. We are called to greatness, and we are not to walk in fear or doubt or worry or anxiety or any of that stuff, or worry about what's going to happen, what happened yesterday or what happens tomorrow. We are in control of today. So be encouraged by that. Thank you so much for sharing. I super appreciate that. So anybody else before we go want to unmute themselves? You have to make it short because we're over time about 4 minutes. So anybody? Yeah, me too. I don't know who that is.
Tracy Shudo. Unless there's somebody else.
No, go ahead.
This is my third event. After every event, the other two, I said, I'm going to start. This event, I not only said that, I feel that. So Destiny, what you read out, I was sitting here clapping and cheering just like Mike was, because there is now fire in my body. There is a list every day being made, and I'm eating that frog every day.
Yeah, me too. Anybody else? Anybody else want to comment? Or maybe some of you that didn't go want to say something about,
something very quickly. It was just really, for me, it was my first event, really, truly first event. It was amazing, and I agree to everything that the other ladies and the gentleman spoke before. One of the big things that I think, at least with me, has happened since the day that I came, I have been speaking and talking with people about it. And one of the best good things is talking about Erin Brockovich being part of the board of the in Life Vantage, because people knows Erin Brockovich. And when I mentioned it, I was like, yeah. So I tell them about it. I was like, I want to know more about it. So that has been like these couple of days. Today was I went to work and I have to send information about the product. So it's just like, thank you, Lord. And the same, like, I'm going to speak because I've been very shy, very like, oh, what people is going to think about me. I'm not going to go there anymore. I don't care what people think about me. I'm just going to speak up.
Good for you. Good for you guys. Can you guys see this? You think these two right here are not happy to be together? Like I took some seriously, like I told them to hold their spots, like so you guys can see like they're super happy together. It's really cool to have two of my favorite people in the world doing this business with us. So before we go, anybody else? One more person if they want.
I'm proud of you for speaking up on here, amiga.
Yes. Anybody else? One more person? No? All right. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.